Campaigners from Just Stop Oil blocked the roads in central London yesterday. It's their 11th day of protest. They are calling for the government to stop new oil and gas licences to help protect against climate change. You can imagine how frustrated these drivers got. They ripped up signs. They tried to force their way through the blockade. There is footage of an ambulance being forced to turn back and find an alternative route. A fire engine was also blocked while trying to respond to an emergency. Campaigners say they did eventually move to let it pass. Campaigners say that they are risking their freedom and well-being to raise awareness of the climate emergency. Critics say, no, all that happens is everyone involved here gets really, really angry. Gemma, do you think you can justify any of that?
Look, I'm going to be really clear here. I think that if I was in that traffic jam or my relative was in that ambulance, I'd be livid. And I think that protesting has got to be done in the most effective way possible, and there are some organisations that do it brilliantly, so like led by donkeys, for instance, or whatever. But what I will say is, I think what's interesting is we do have to look at why they're doing it, and if we want less of that, then we need a different government. So the reason they're so febrile at the moment and they are so angry, apart from the fact that in Greenland, for instance, you've got these record temperatures at the moment that are so worrying, and we're all looking this way at our little microcosms and our stresses, and there's a massive climate catastrophe coming down the road. You know, we are seeing it with the floods in Pakistan and typhoons everywhere and our temperatures this summer. And then you've got a government who want to start fracking. They are now saying ban solar panels on farms. Weird, very anti-growth, by the way. You've got people like the RSPB, the Royal Society of Protection of Birds, who are not political, coming out and going, whoa, because they want to rip up all these regulations that protect nature. They're very anti-climate.
So the government is anti-climate, Carole?
They're not. You know, the initiatives this government have produced have been incredible. Let's make it really clear from the start. Britain produces just 1.1% of all global emissions, as opposed to China, which is something like 28%, as opposed to the USA, which is 18%. But this is what these people are doing. This is lazy protesting. Plonking your bum on a road is not saving the planet. You want to save the planet? Get involved politically. Get involved with campaigning with the government. Get into government and change government policy. Plonking your backside on a road and stopping...
But protests work, don't they? Protests work.
It didn't work.
Well, look at Nigel Farage. He's never been an MP, changed the whole history of this country.
They are not... These protests... Well, maybe he did. This protest is not going to work. Or, you know, I saw there was one taxi driver on YouTube the other day. He got out of his cab and he said, you people are stopping me earning money. He said, I've paid 70 grand for this cab, which is eco-friendly. What have you guys done? And that is true. He said, I'm doing my bit. And I looked at a lot of those protests. A lot of them are very young people. A lot of them are students, and the rest are pensioners.
Oh, look at this. I worry that at some point
someone is going to get hurt.
Yeah, because that van driver was not going to stop there.
Their frustrations are boiling over, and I don't blame them.
The thing is, if there was like a big comet flying towards Earth, and you knew that you had like a minute to tell everybody you loved, that's kind of how
Gemma,
you wouldn't do this, though, would you?
These kids talk about, like, we don't understand that there is a climate emergency. Of course we do. And every single person in this country wants to help
Let's take a call. Let's get... We've got loads...
The government aren't expressing that.
OK. John in Wiltshire, hi.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Jeremy.
Do you support these protests?
I don't, no.
You've been inconvenienced by them?
I have been inconvenienced by them, and I won't be inconvenienced by them again because I'll just go straight through them.
Oh, I don't want you to end up in jail, John.
Well, they are causing a public nuisance. They are breaking the law, and they should be removed. They're not going to change anything, as your guest said there, by sitting down on the road and waving a placard.
Well, they make us think, John.
Is get people
they make us think, don't they? They make us think about the planet.
No.
Well, they're not thinking about the planet, for God's sake. They're just there to cause a nuisance.
We're doing this as a topic today, and then I've been able to talk about Greenland, and probably most people don't care, but some people might.
Do you know there were 32 protesters on that road yesterday? And I'm very angry with the police as well, because the police, as far as I'm concerned, are colluding with them. You know, you have cops the other day saying, what can I help you? What can I do for you? 32 people could have been lifted within 25 minutes, and London would have got moving again. Instead, they let
Russia, isn't it?
But it's no.
You can lift them out of the way.
Russia. When you bring the capital city to a standstill, when you stop people in a cost of living crisis, crisis, getting to work to earn money, to feed their kids and heat their homes, move them out of the way.
That's really interesting as well. Like Insulate Britain, I've done similar. And actually, if we'd listened to them and insulated our houses, A, we'd be reducing carbon emissions, and B, we wouldn't have massive gas.
And half of Insulate Britain.
That's a good point. John, where were you when you were affected by them?
I was trying to get to the hospital.
Right.
There you go.
Now, if the police were allowed to do their job and remove them, there would be some namby-pamby bleeding heart trying to prosecute them.
Well, we had a vicar who glued his face to the road. Now, if you remove him, he's not going to be preaching many more sermons, is he?
Well, that's it. Well, he shouldn't be there in the first place.
Well, he's done it. But you could tear his cheek off.